Hello everyone, this is Lydia. So today I have two projects to share with you ladies. The first one is a junk journal and the second one is an altered box. So I joined a junk journal swap and it was hosted by Nilanny and Jtlicious1 here on YouTube. And I was partnered up with Lydia. And Lydia is a Apurplelily1 here on YouTube. Now Lydia does not do videos, but she told me she might make one. She's thinking about it. So that would be nice. I told her it's really fun and it's really easy. If you're having any problems, you could always ask me or ask one of the girls in the YouTube community. We're more than happy to, help you out with any problems. But it's super simple and it's fun to share your projects with everyone. So I'm hoping she will make one. So Lydia chose a vintage style for her junk journal, which I normally don't do vintage, so I was a little nervous about that, but I think I did a good job, and I had fun creating it. And then I asked her to make mine shabby chic, and she told me that she hasn't done shabby chic in a while, but she's going to give it her best also. So I'm looking forward to receiving her journal. I can't wait, and I hope she likes my journal. So for this journal, I used 3 stacks that have like a vintagey look to them. I chose the Timeless Type stack by DCWV. This has a lot of pretty vintage papers and images. I chose the Antiquities by GCD. This is also a beautiful paper stack. And I used the Main Street stack by DCWV. So those are the papers that I worked with. So here's the junk journal. And I'm going to go through it quickly because if you ladies know what a junk journal is, it's basically a mishmash of pages with a little embellishment here and there. Not too many because this is for her to fill with her thoughts and for her to add her goodies to it. So I kept the cover plain because this paper is just gorgeous. And like Karen was saying, it does have like a linen feel to it. It's just a beautiful paper. And I just love the dress form and the flowers. Very vintagey. And I just added a Tim Holtz plate here. And I used some tiny types to write her name, personalize it. I wrote Lydia. And then I filled it with some glossy accents. And I added some ribbon here on the binder, and I created a little clip, and I have a little vintage fan, some baubles, an old vintage phone here, and I have a shoe and some little beads and such, and that's on a Tim Holtz swivel clasp. And I used my binder roll to bind it, and the journal measures 9 by 6, so I think that's a nice size. So I'm going to go quickly through it because it's basically papers. Here I added a die cut piece and a tag. And this clock brad piece. And then on the other side of the tag I added some trim and this flower that I stamped with music notes. And I added a little bling centerpiece here. So here's some beautiful paper. I just added a button and some ribbon. I added some prompts on here. This one says advice. What piece of wisdom or advice would you like to pass on? I have a little stamp here. That's another fun thing about making the junk journals is you can go crazy using all your stamps on here. This is a piece that came from Michael's, and I just added some paper here. She can add a photo there and some ribbon. So here's some pretty paper with keys. Here I added a Polaroid and I stamped remember. Here's a postcard. And here I did some inking with some Tim Holtz ink and a stamp. If you ladies want to know what any of the products you see, just post me a comment. Here's a pretty bicycle piece because I used a mishmash on here. So here I added a pocket, and that came from the one of the collections here. And I added some tags for her. She can add in her journal or use them as journal spots. Here I made a banner, another stamp. Here are 2 pockets, a vellum one. Here's another one in here, another envelope that she can pull out and use. Here's some more pretty papers. Here's that Michael's Birdie stamp that I love. Here's another prompt. Who influenced your life the most? And then here I have a little envelope. I added flower here. This was some packaging. It came with some charms. And it says fairy tale on it. I just love the colors. And I keep all my packaging, so I like adding those to junk journals. Some more pretty paper. Here's a piece of ribbon. Here's a shoe stamp. I stamped memories here. I love this tag. Some more pretty papers. Here I did dress form stamp. I added some trim. Little journaling spot. There's another Michael stamp. Here's another prompt. What did you think you would be when you grew up? Sorry, ladies, my vision's not the greatest. Every cloud has a silver lining. I used another stamp here. Here's another tag. Time flies by. This paper I crinkled up and added some ink to, and she can journal on there. Some more pretty papers. This says The Sweet Life. I have another stamp up there of a bird, butterfly, discover. Here are a couple of postcards that she can journal on. Some more ribbon. Here's a pretty face stamp that Trudy sent me in a rack. Thank you, Trudy. I used a little Tim Holtz clip there with some ribbon. Here's another prompt. Those are pretty cool. Some more paper. Here I stamped some gears. Here's a pocket page. I added some ribbon and I added some smash journaling cards. And I have a little dress form here that says era on it and vintage. And there's a tag there that she can use as a bookmark. And here's a short page. This one says journey. Has like a flat feel to the paper. Fly. Fashionista. That's another stamp that I picked up that I love. Here's a fabric tag with some trim and buttons. Here I stamped times. I added a tab. There's a rub-on. Here's a lady face stamp that I love. Another prompt. Here's a little Michael's felty bird. Some more paper for her to write in. I stamped another dress form on here. This is a 7 Gypsies piece that Karen sent me in a rack. Thank you, Karen. And for this one I used my Martha Stewart punch. Here's a vintage sewing machine. There's a Polaroid. Here's another fabric tag that says happiness is key. Here's a acetate piece, and I used rub-on. It says shine, and there's the candelabra. Another rub-on. Here I stamped dream. Here's another packaging. This one is by Flea Market. It had 3D the fabric stickers on it, and I just put some paper on the back. Some more pretty paper for her to journal. Here's a pocket that I created with a die cut. And I added some more tags in here. And a dress form. She can play with those. And here's that pretty stamp that I purchased from Michael's. And Inspire. Here's another tab. There's a camera up there. Some more acetate. These are some stamps that I actually got in a rack from Steph. She lives in Belize. And I took these stamps off the envelope, so I put those on there. Another dress form. Here's a Martha Stewart butterfly. Some more paper for her to journal. Here I used another stamp. And here's another prompt. Birdcage stamp. Here I used some washi tape to hold this down. It says favorite things. Here's that bird stamp from Michael's. Another pocket with a calendar and another die cut. Large bird cage. And here I have a Maya Road envelope. Love using those. Look how beautiful this paper is. Here's another stamp I used, a bird cage. There's another journal spot. This stamp I love and I never use it. It's so funny. It says, God forbid life should be easy. I love that stamp. That is so funny. And I never used it, and this is like the perfect opportunity to use it in a junk journal. Here it's another stamp. It says, age is merely the number of years the world has been enjoying you. Love that. I love this image here. I added a little gear here, metal gear. Here's another little pocket with a stamp. Another prompt. Here's another stamp. It says basil on there. And some more pretty vintage images. Here's another Polaroid, and I stamped it, "Be Yourself." And this is the back. And I have this little die cut piece here. And I'm probably going to stamp it and sign it. So that's the journal. And then she doesn't know this, but I made her a little box that I'm going to fill with goodies. So here's the box. And for the box, I used a little wooden box that I received in a rack from Damaris. Thank you, Damaris. And I love that it has a little magnet, which keeps it shut. That's so neat. So I painted it in black acrylic paints, and I added some little wood feet on there. And I added this beautiful pink trim. Just gorgeous. And some flat back pearls. These I got from Cassie in a rack. Thank you, Cassie. And I added a pretty little vintage button on there. I just love that button. I thought it went so well. And I distressed the papers, and I used the Tim Holtz distresser on it. Here's the front. All these flowers I received from Trudy in a rack. Thank you, Trudy. And then I added a Tim Holtz clock face piece there, watch face. And I added a little pearl in the center of that. So that's the box. I really like the way this turns out. I think I captured vintage. And then inside I just lined it with some paper. And on the inside here I added this little doily. This chipboard bird came from Michael's. And I added a little pearl for his eye. And then I used this little doily here that Karen sent me in a rack. Thank you, Karen. And I just folded it. It's supposed to be like the bird's nest. And then I added a pretty glass bead here. It's like the bird's egg. And then this flower here is from Cassie's store. She is Filipicano too. Love that flower. Here's another flower Karen sent me in a rack. And this one I handmade with some Got Prima flowers, the tiny ones. I just distressed it, layered two on top of each other, and added a little pearl in the center. And I have some print paper in the background here. So I really love the way the box turned out, and I'm going to fill it with some goodies for her. So that's it, ladies. Those are my two projects for today. Thanks for watching, and post a comment if you wish. And tell me what you think. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye.